Good morning, hello, it's Ali here, and it's Friday morning, which means it's Funky Fossil Friday. All I've done today is I've just thrown, well, I actually haven't, I was messing around last night getting some stuff out, thinking, oh, I want to have a play with this, I want to have a play with that. So I just popped some stuff on my desk, and I thought what I'll do is whatever's on my desk tomorrow I'll play with and I'll make a video with. Do a bit of colouring so we can carry on with that Let's Colour series, which is, this one's number 2 for Funky Fossil. So today on my desk I have 2 stamp sets. I have some that I've already stamped and cut out, and I have stamped out here. The stamp sets I'm using today are the Chilled Chicker by Zinsky Art. Absolutely brilliant set is this. I love it because you can alternate the clothing, and you've got sort of 4 lots of clothing and 4 heads, so you can alternate all the different sort of combinations of fashion, if you like. Absolutely brilliant, I love it. And then you've got a couple of little sentiments. You've got Groovy, Style Diva and Chilled Chicker. Okay, so that's the Chilled Chickers by Zinsky Art, so I'm going to use that. So I've stamped this one out already. I've used this one and this one. I originally stamped it out here and then realised I didn't actually have enough room for a head, so I had to redo her over here. Okay, the second stamp set I'm going to be using is the Majestic Blooms. Again, it's another one I just haven't had a chance to have a play with. So like I said, I whizzed stuff on my desk yesterday thinking, well, I'll play with that, and again, this is another Zinsky Arts set. These I've actually already stamped out and printed out. I just need the bird, actually. I forgot the bird. There we go. So you've got all sorts of lovely little elements in here. You've got the flowers, you've got that gorgeous bird, you've got a crown, some flowers, stars, that's the centre of a flower. They're sort of like wild and wacky, I call them whimsical flowers, but... And then you've got some sentiments. You've got Oopsie Daisy, What's Up Buttercup, Hope Your Day's Blooming Marvellous, and I Like Big Blooms and I Cannot Lie. I love it. So there's that one as well. So those are the 2 main stamp sets that I'm using today from Funky Fossil. So also on my desk I've got a few little bits and pieces here which will become apparent later, but they're to sort of use with inks and paints. This is going to be my background. Don't have a clue what I'm doing, so today really is on a wing. So whether it works out or not, I don't know. We'll get there. As I say, I've stamped out some blooms already to colour and the bird. I've got some watercolour paints, and I've got my trusty gold paints as well. And I've also just got at the side of me some pencils. I've got some Black Widow pencils. I've got a whole host of those which I may use just to do some sort of depth and shade on top of any watercolouring that I do, but we'll see later. I just literally, this is just going to be playing, so whatever happens happens, I'm afraid. I just got a quick sup of my tea. Right, so what I'm going to do first of all, when I use these watercolours, these are Cheap as Chips watercolours. They're actually from the Works, and they cost, I don't know, about £2 or £3, and I've had them years. And all I do with these is I just spray them to get them going, if you like. Okie dokie. And then all I'm going to do on here is I'm going to just create a really random background. So I'm going to grab my little plastic sheet just to catch any dribbles of water as I'm going, and I'll just pull you down a little bit. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to pull you forward first, and then I'm going to just pop down a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to prepare a bit of a background and just see what happens. It's kind of going to be a bit of a mixed media, whimsically, journally, somethingy page. We'll see what happens. I think I'm going to turn it this way because I've got quite a few of these flowers here. So, right, okie dokie. I'm going to grab I'm going to just wet up that again a little bit more. I'm going to grab some of this pink, and I'm going to do a bit of spraying on there as well. So a bit of pink on here. Sorry for the arm, that's from the water. Bit of pink. Okay, and some green. I'm not even thinking about anything, I'm just plonking it down. A bit of orange in with the green. It's quite a nice little blend. Excuse me, a bit more pink over here. Okay, and get that nice light blue in there. Okie dokie. And a little bit more green over here. Okay, so I'm just going to pop off and just dry this off to start with, because I'll probably be doing some layers. So just dry my first layer, just bear with me 1 second. Okay, so that's nice and dry. And then I'm just going to do, think I'm going to grab some colour off this palette, just pop it on the plastic. This is why I use this plastic at the side. Okay, and I'm going to pop that square in, and I'm just going to blot it down. And I'm going to do exactly, excuse the eye, I'm going to do exactly the same with my circle. So I'll pop the circle in. I think I prefer the circle to the square, so I'm just going to go over those squares and just create those splats in the background there. Okay, just going to dry those off now, bear with me a second. Okay, so I've just dried that off, and now I'm just going to do some mark making. Let's pop some just over what's. Now this is a technique that I've been doing over the last kind of week or two. It's not mine. I watched Kim Dello. She did it. She's actually inspired quite a little bit of my, or quite a lot of my mixed media work that I've done in the last couple of weeks. So if you want to go onto YouTube and just sort of search for Kim Dello, and she has all sorts of fantastic inspirational videos on there, and she just teaches. She's so organic and doesn't sort of think about what she's doing. Well, you know what I mean, she kind of lets things take an organic route, if you like, and sort of see what happens at the end. Kind of what I'm trying to do, rather than, you know, making decisions when I sit down and say, all right, well, this is what I'm going to do today. Well, actually, no, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to have fun, and whatever's at the end of it will be, sort of thing. I think when you, for me anyway, I've found it quite hard to let go. Or I did do, and I'm starting to do that now. And it's quite interesting what comes out at the end of sort of sitting and having a crafty session. I'm just going to spray now into that gold that I have, I love using. That's the Kuretake. I can't remember the name. I haven't got the lid just to hand because I never have it in its packet because it's always out, but I think it's gold shimmers or gold pearl, or not 100% sure, so I'll have a look later. Okay, with the gold, I'm just going to add elements of gold into what I've already popped down. just so that there's a little bit of contrast. I do love using this gold. I like using the gold where I can in the work that I've been making, whether it's be splatting or line making. And then just as I say splatting, I'm just going to do some splats with that gold. Okay, and I'm just going to dry that off again, so just bear with me one moment. Okay, so that's all nice and dry. And the last thing I want to do with this, just before I put it to one side and start some other colouring, is I want to splat some white in. So I've just got some of that Dot 2 Martin's bleed proof white, and all I do is grab a little bit of the white. One of these has got to get that lid right back on there. With it being ink, I just like to get it on and oopsie daisy, and then it's not drying up. So I've just popped a bit of that out. The beauty of this ink is it is super white as well. I try not to dilute it with water because oopsie daisy, because I really do like that bright intense white. Okie dokie. Right, now then, I'll just lift that up to show you what I've done so far on the background. I'm quite happy with that background. So we've got, so easy to make. We spritz the background and then just add colour, dry it off, add another layer, whatever on top, and then do some white making in. I may do some scribbles in there as well. That's another thing that Kim has been doing. I've not got the best of handwriting, but I'm going to grab a number 1 on the Unipin fine line. I'm just going to do, let me think. I suppose you could put like words in. Let's have a look. So we've got hope, love, I'll put another couple in a short while because I'm just going to wait for that white to dry. So whilst that is drying, I'm going to pull in our little chica and I'm going to colour her in. So that's her all nicely blended and coloured. Okay, so I've been a little bit busy in the background there for a little short while. I've cut out the girl. I've redid the bird because I didn't really like the way it was. And I've watercoloured the majestic blooms. That's what I'm saying. I've thrown everything all over the floor, and my background's really nice and finished now. So I'm just going to pop you back up. Okay, and I'm going to just finish this page off. So I started to do a little bit of doodling whilst it was still a little bit damp. So I've got the number 1, so it's really sort of scrawny and what have you. So I put hope, love. Let's put a little bit of cherish, groovy, birdie. Doesn't matter what it says, just a little bit of doodling down there. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the blooms and kind of have a play, see what we want to do. I'm not really thinking about it too much, to be honest. It's just a little page. Pop that one down there, I think. Okay, and we've got a little birdie. So probably, actually, let's get our lass on. See what she looks like there. Pop her in there. Might not even use the bird after all that, to be fair. Just use the blooms and pop our little girl in. Like so. So I'm just going to glue these bits and pieces down. So I shall just get myself some glue. So what I'll do with the little girl, because she's quite thin and whatnot, I'm going to use some Pritt stick. Oh, it's all right. See, this is what happens, you see. I'm going to pop her down here, and then I'm going to pop her head back on. So just some Pritt stick up here. I knew that would happen. So it's because it's such a tiny little neck that she has on there. So stick her down neck and all now. Okay, I might have her holding one of the blooms perhaps, or have one right next to her. So again, I'm just going to use the Pritt stick. So I'll pop this one right next to her, and then with the rest of them, just pop them down. As I say, I'm just using a Pritt stick to do this with. Very underestimated bit of kit is the Pritt stick. It's an amazing. It's an amazing glue. Okay, pop you down there. And what I also did as well, whilst I was cutting out and whatnot, I put some sparkle pen on the balloons as well. Okay, bring that back into shot and then you can see. And then shall we pop the little birdie down here? I think we will actually put the birdie in as soon as we made him. So I'm just giving him a little bit of movement. I'm just going to unblock, oops daisy, unblock my, what's it, I'm going to pop him in there, and then I'm going to add him some little legs in. So let's have a bit of fun. So I'm going to pop in some legs. Okay, and I think what I'll also do, I'm just going to pop this out of the way so you can see that a bit better without all the rubbish on top. I'm going to grab the kit and I'm going to stamp out the crown. These are absolutely superb stamps. The quality is amazing. So now I'm going to do 2 crowns, I think, because I'm going to do the bird crown. I'm going to do the lasser crown as well. So pop those out. Okay, now then, I'll just cut them out first. Quite easy to cut out, so I'm just going to go around very quickly. Should have done this earlier, but last minute things as usual. Told you I didn't plan this one, so down. Okay, so that's one. And 2. So I'll just do those, just give them a little bit of watercolour. Then we're just going to do those in yellow. I'm going to just deepen with a little bit of orange. Okay. Right, 2 seconds for those. I'll give them a quick blast, bear with me a second. So I'm going to grab my little gems. I'm going to pop a gem in the centre of both of those. So I'm going to go for the biggish one. I'm going to get my little sparkle pen. This one's the Gossip one. My absolute favourite, absolute favourite. It's really, really packed full of sparkle. Okay, then I'm going to grab my glue gel. You want to sit this a little bit proud. So I'll pop one on her head, like so. And then I'm actually going to pop one on the birdie as well. Not going to move in too much, he's going to lose his legs. And then just to finish off, I'll have a look at some of the shapes. Oh, sorry about that. Some of the shapes within the within that stamp set. So I'm going to grab some yellow, pink and blue distress ink, and then all I'll do is just as little accents. Okay, so I've got that. I'll take that one off. I'm going to use, I've got a lovely little flower here. So we've got the flower, and then I'll just do that off the page. Kill the bird. Okay. And then I keep saying and then just to finish because I always find something else to do. But what I will do, because this video has got quite long now, is I will edge the actual image with some pink just to bring it together. So I'll just go around. I'll lift that back up in a sec. I'll just go around first. Okay, I'll pop those out of the way. So I'm going to grab his crown. There we go. And that, I think I will call a do and let that dry. And then what I'll do when it is dry and finished, it'll be at the beginning and the end of this video, so you can actually see the project. I'll probably mount it onto some black card so that you can see. And then what you can do, obviously, is turn this into a journal page or a card or whatever you want it to be. But you can get these dies now that kind of make a journal piece, you know, like a, where you make it into a journal. I think I know what I'm talking about, but I can't explain it. It's like a crimper, if you will. Anyway, so there is today's piece. And I'm quite happy with that, considering I didn't have a clue what I was going to do today. So I hope you've enjoyed it as well, and I hope you'll have a go at making something. I'll just go back over again the stamps that we used, which were the Majestic Blooms by Zinsky Art. So I've used all the flowers. I've used the little blooms here and the crown. Then you've got some lovely sentiments in there as well. I really do love this stamp set. And then I also used the Chilled Chickers, again by Zinsky Art. So got a little bit of a theme going through there with Zinsky. And then just made our own background and added it on too. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll have a go at making something similar. If you do, pop your pictures into group and we can have a look. Don't forget to come and see us in group. That's our Funky Fossil Designs Facebook group. Brilliant group where we all sort of share everything that we've made and ask questions and, you know, troubleshoot things, colouring, and what have you, and we share sneaky peeks of our releases every month. So with that said, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a fabulous Funky Friday, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.